If there's something that's repetitive, it might take skill, but it's repetitive. And if I can get a script or an AI algorithm to do that, I want to do that.
Welcome back to another installment of the Next Gen Case Study Series. In this episode today, we have the privilege of speaking with Paul Gozaloff, who is the managing consultant and founder of Veteran Cybersecurity Group. Paul brings decades of federal cybersecurity experience and leads a team of U.S. military veterans providing critical cybersecurity consulting and risk management services to federal agencies and government contracts. His work focuses on implementing advanced cybersecurity frameworks like Zero Trust and the Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification, which is a mouthful, driving innovation and excellence in cybersecurity landscape. Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, so quick little Coles Notes version. I'd love to kind of start with a little bit of your background and kind of what led you to become the founder of your company.
Oh, good question. Well, I've been working in federal cybersecurity since 2005, so that's 19 years. My focus was mainly compliance and training. I trained at Fort Gordon. I trained soldiers there. I was an employee over there. Multiple federal engagements. Later, I started my company to do CMMC assessments in 2022. CMMC is a major federal initiative and requirement for all government contractors. So because I do those type of assessments, it was a no-brainer for me, and there was going to be a lot of work. So we've got ourselves qualified. And even today, we've got approved as a licensed training provider, the certified cybersecurity maturity model. Most proudly, we have a skill bridge program that trains active duty U.S. military members in the last 180 days of their service. What we do is we train them to be IATT level 3 or CMMC level certified, and then we hope to place them and transition them into the cybersecurity workforce. Last year, we trained and transitioned 17 service members under our program. And the DoD doesn't pay for it. We've sponsored it all, but they did, pay the service member for that period they were assigned to us. Like I said, we do Zero Trust networking. We're looking to do contracting. We vigorously are looking for mentor-type partners for us, larger security firms like Booz Allen, Northrop Grumman, or something like that, so we can maybe get some contracting with them and then increase our federal cybersecurity skill bridge. So what we do is services and training is what we do, and certification.
Okay. So I imagine then a lot of the work you're doing as it relates to client acquisition, it's not necessarily direct to consumer or B2B because it's like government contracts. Is that a correct assumption?
Yeah, it's all directly to federal agencies, directly to federal contractors as a subcontractor, or we might offer a training class for the individual, but generally it goes through a company.
Right. So walk me through the process of how you kind of secure some of those contracts.
CMMC was a little bit different, and it will be easier to go along. That we've got qualified with them. We've been working to get qualified with them as a certified third-party assessment organization. So we applied. We have all of our assessors have gotten training and certified. It's necessary to take the classes in order to take the test. You just can't test out like many certifications. We're lucky that my lead trainer was an original in the CMMC program, so he was a provisional instructor, assessor, and professional. We based the company on that. We didn't expect that the final rule would take 5 years to pass. Right? We expected 8 to 9 months. It took 5 years. It's going to get going in January. So, like I said, we're a certified licensed training partner as of today. We just got that approved. And we're a CMMC certified assessor training organization, and me personally, I'm also certified. So that, as this 5 years comes so close, should really take off in January. In the meantime, what we did is we looked at, got registered as a service-disabled veteran-owned company, and we looked at the contracts that were out there and what we had to do to some contracts. And the sizes of the contracts, like $1 million, is small. It could be like 10 to 20 to $50, $100 million per contract. So we realized right away that we would have a problem with past performance as a company to have provided them, as well as even if we got the contract, how would we find that much staffing? Top secret clearances, CMMC certification, yada, yada, yada. So we created the Skill Bridge program that I talked about, where we do the recruitment, training, certifying, and mentoring, and hopefully, if we land the contract, the result of it, a hiring of these transitioning service.
So it sounds to me like there was, a number of different opportunities. It just was a matter of trying to carve out your space in all of that. And in that kind of pathway, it seems like you created a lot of your own opportunities along the way. Is that true?
Well, I think so. The CMMC was presented to us as an opportunity. We jumped on it and did everything we had to do to get qualified for that. Other opportunities that we're working on through partnerships and specialties and bidding on dozens and dozens of solicitations that we never win. It's just, as long as I don't quit, I'll be fine. But I know the CMMC is guaranteed this year.
Right.
Or January, first quarter 2020.
So I imagine with this, just given the size and the scope of it, there are certainly going to be some challenges in terms of data management, managing the people themselves, all of the different moving parts. How do you guys address those challenges with tools and technology and things like that you're using to keep things in order?
The most important tool is that we certify and train the people that do it. And then we have different tools. Let tools come and go, but it's not really the specialty of the tools, but the expertise of the individual that we rely on. Tools are dime a dozen. I can give anybody a run tool, but look for people that have hands-on networking, technical, cyber experience, and then we teach them how to be auditors.
So early on, what were some of the challenges that you faced in terms of trying to systemize that process or make it streamlined?
Not systemizing the process wasn't the problem. It was making that final rule become a final rule in the federal acquisition regulations that this certification, which is done by us, we're certified by the DoD and the CMMCAB to get it into place and make it happen. And there was a lot of pushback. There was a lot of pushback because it was seen as an impediment and excessive cost to small business contractors doing business. These people everybody's been attesting to this certification, self-certifying for years now, but they lied flat out. And now they have to fix it. So yes, it costs money to be secure. If you haven't done it and you said you did it, you better do it soon. And you better invest in it. If you're a small business, it still costs you money. But I'm thinking that let's get it going because I'm a small business that will benefit once they do. So
talk to me a little bit about some of the newer technological advancements that are kind of in your space. What's coming down the pipeline that you guys have been keen on focusing on?
Artificial intelligence is set to all of that. Everything from making me a better proposal writer, to be able to summarize documents, and to just my particular workflow, which probably applies to most professions, but also artificial intelligence algorithms that we implement into third-party management systems integration and event management systems that we have ways of correlating terabytes and terabytes of active log data, but we're always in need of fast, smart algorithms that could catch people in near real time as they travel through unauthorized network. So, we're into zero trust technologies. That's a group of technologies, or it's actually it's almost like a principles, right? And it requires much more authentication, continuous authentication. It's a complete rework that's mandatory for DoD by 2027. Zero trust means exactly that. Zero trust nobody. You can log into a system, you're going to have multi-factor authorization. You want to handle access a particular piece of data, you're going to be authorized either in the front ground or the background. You might have systems where they authorize you access every 5 minutes. Right? We assume multiple things in zero trust. The first thing is we assume that we're breached. We assume that somebody is on our network. With that, knowing that you have invaders on your network and knowing that your network isn't secure, whether it be your wide area network, VPN, or whatever. You're just like open out on the internet, and that's the way you operate. As a matter of fact, there's been an executive order by President Biden that drives this, and one of these things that an agency has to do to prove that they can do zero trust networking is they must take internal application they have inside their agency, log into it inside the agency, and make it available across the internet without any VPNs. Right? So now I usually access it at my desk, but now I can access it at home across the internet without getting into complex VPNs, which often don't. If you can do that, you have a good idea. So
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. What are some of the trends that you're noticing kind of coming through the industry in terms of like how the customers are receiving these, zero trust or two-factor authentication tools, or even the role that AI has kind of played in helping you do your job better?
like I said, AI, multi-factor authentication, anything you do to make it transparent and easy. Certain rules that we used to follow just don't work. Complex a complex password that you have to change every 30 days, 45 days. All right. So if it's complex, you might not remember. If you got to change it every 45 days, what does that mean? You're out there changing it every 45 days. You're going to forget complex passwords. You know what? How about just a password as one form of authentication? And we have everything else that we use. We use authenticator apps. We use SMS. We use phone. There's a million different ways, but passwords are the weak. So anything that focuses on passwords got to go away. Complex password requirements must go. Mandatory in DoD. The whole Zero Trust initiative is being driven by DoD and federal agencies. Like I said, it's an executive order, and it must be done by 2027. If you knew the depth and breadth of it, that are basically a complete forklift upgrade of the whole Department of Defense cybersecurity infrastructure, you know that 2027 is coming very, very. So, like I said, we use our whole program. We train veterans coming out of the military. We train them on Zero Trust. We train them on CMMC, which will be, just different. Internally, we train them for inside federal agencies and DoD. We train on Zero Trust. Externally, we train on audit CMMC for federal contracts.
So this urgency, I wonder, what kind of a burden is that placing on your team?
No, I need the business. I'll hire more people. It's not an issue.
Right.
The workload is what I look forward to, is what I work for.
Yeah. It's a good problem to have.
I want to be busy. I want to be busy not looking for work. I want to be busy doing it.
Yeah, especially in this type of economy, the way that we are kind of facing what seems like a certain doom. I'm always curious to know about how you see the landscape of business evolving with the implementation of some of these AI tools, maybe replacing some of your team members, or helping augment the stuff that you guys are doing. Are you working on a lot of that internally, or is this something that you're kind of sourcing from third parties, or how does that work for your business?
Well, let me understand your question. You're talking about the internal tools, the changes in the industry as a result of AI. Is it going to be downsizing? No. Our goal is to be on the cutting edge of this. So we use those tools. Right. If there's something that's repetitive, it might take skill, but it's repetitive. Check a log, compare it to this and that. Check against whatever. If I can get a script or an AI algorithm to do that, I want to do that. And then I want to move on to the next thing. There's not a shortage. The future of cybersecurity is not bleak no matter what the is, right? The government has these mandates, and these mandates are funded. So my goal is just to build a company that has the expertise, the past performance, and the reputation to take advantage of.
Paul, looking forward, what are some of the goals of the company now? Obviously, given the 2027 deadline and some of that kind of stuff. Beyond that, what else is coming down the pipeline that you're excited about?
I'd like to get 5 new full-time employees by the end of this year. I'd like to add 5 every 10 a year at least minimum. Right. And I think that'll be warranted based on the CMMC. And hopefully if we get awards in zero trust countries. So I'm looking for more direct. I work with a lot of consultants, so I want to hire them. That will, that's involves things, and we're involved in the outsourcing of resources, IRAs, insurance, all those things that I really do with my team, right? So it's about turning these active duty service members into full-time employees of Veteran Cybersecurity Group, and they'll be trained by the same contractors that I use, but they'll be employees that I get to keep on board and that hire on bursts. Just when you're not engaged in building a customer, hey, do this research, go to this school to search.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, Paul, you've been very generous with your time, and for that, we're very grateful. Just to kind of wrap things up here, I wonder if there was somebody in a kind of a similar position to you in terms of growing their business and looking for ways to do that in a predictable way. What's one piece of advice that you would offer them?
Don't quit. You know that what you got is viable, right? Cybersecurity is not going away. How many people say, "Oh, that's terrible"? No, cybersecurity is here. It's government mandates to do things. There's a critical cybersecurity workforce shortage. Put that into the Department of Defense. There's also a critical shortage of people with top secret SCI clearances to take polygraphs. That sucks. That's a challenge. What? We get that challenge. We respond to that challenge by taking somebody to train them for the job and ready to hire them the minute they get out of the service. So you want to thank them for their service? Fine. Give us a contract.
Yeah, sound advice. That persistence really pays off in the long run.
Yeah, don't quit as the main. Because as long as you're on the right path, you do something stupid, that maybe you shouldn't, or at least adapt. But adapt, don't quit as the
Yeah, excellent. If somebody wanted to reach out to you to maybe work with you or to pick your brain further on some of these topics, how would one do that?
Oh, that'll be easy. Paul, my name, at Veteran Cybersecurity, one word.com.
Beautiful. I'll make sure to link to that in the show notes. And if you want to get in touch with me and my team for any reason, it's nextgengrowth.com. Otherwise, that's it for this episode, and I will see you in the next.
Thanks, Tim.
Beautiful, Paul. You did wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh, he left. That was the worst interview ever.